Do you guys believe that Marcus Davenport, Detroit Lions' new free agent edge rusher, formerly of the Minnesota Vikings and New Orleans Saints, do you believe he can make a significant impact this season for the Lions? PFF had him listed as their bounce back player for the Lions. They had an article that came out, listed every bounce back player they believe on at least on each NFL roster. And for the Detroit Lions, it is Marcus Davenport. And today we're going to go through, we're going to read what they said about Marcus Davenport, and then I'm going to tell you guys why and what needs to happen in order for Marcus Davenport to get back to that 2021 form in New Orleans. So let's start off, and I'll show you the article. We can read it. And this is what they said about Marcus Davenport. So as you can see, he is listed. They write, Davenport's time in Minnesota last year almost feels like a fever dream. The former Saints pass rusher played just 114 snaps because of a high ankle sprain, and even when he was active, he disappointed. Davenport collected only 7 pressures on 77 pass rushing snaps, and he missed 40% of his tackles. In New Orleans, though, Davenport proved to be a regularly disruptive defensive lineman. He generated 30 or more pressures in each of his first 5 seasons and especially peaked toward the end of his first contract with an 88.8 overall grade in 2021. The Lions' defensive line should be formidable this year with Aidan Hutchinson, DJ Reader, and Alim McNeill, but don't discount Davenport looking more like himself and also wreaking havoc. And we've talked a lot about Davenport on this channel, and the only thing we've really questioned is his ability to stay healthy. I think Davenport is very talented. He's a big man, and he's got a pretty impressive skill set. Now, being consistent is one thing, and being healthy is another thing. And those two things are probably my biggest 2 worries about Davenport. Now, I'm going to show you something here, and you can just simply Google this. But when you look at Davenport and some of the success he's had in his career, and you look at his career, you see in 2021, he had 9 sacks, 16 quarterback hits. Which, if you think about it, like I think the pressures were like in the 20s. So for him to only have like 20-something pressure, 16 quarterback hits, but have 9 sacks, he's cleaning up plays. That's immediately what I thought when I looked at this. And I'm thinking, okay, 9 sacks in 2021, 2022, he played honestly more snaps. I looked. I think he might have been dealing with something, but yeah, just significantly regressed. And then in Minnesota, he had little to no impact at all, mostly dealing with injuries. So look at the last 3 years for Davenport, because obviously his first 2 years in the league, he started to get better and improve. But the last 3 years, just looking at these numbers, it doesn't tell the full story, because what you have to look at, and this is why I do think Davenport, if healthy, will succeed in Detroit and be pretty productive. 9 sacks in 2021. Well, you start to think to yourself, okay, in 2021, the Saints, well, that was Cam Jordan, right? When he was very productive. You know, when you look at Cam Jordan's stats and look at what he did, and look in 2021, Cam Jordan had 12 and a half sacks. 12 and a half sacks. So when you compare it to the Detroit Lions and you have Aidan Hutchinson, that is somebody that's going to get you 14 sacks. So for Davenport, you don't need him to be your best edge rusher. You just need him to clean up plays. And that's something he did very well with Cam Jordan. When Cam Jordan had the season he had, 12 and a half sacks, Davenport had 9 sacks. But here's where it gets interesting. Look at the following year, 2022. Cam Jordan had 8.5 sacks. Well, what a coincidence, because that was the same year Marcus Davenport had little to no impact. So, and this isn't to slight Davenport or tell you why he's a bad, but he's not. He's not. He's fine. Now, staying healthy is a big concern. But my point is, as long as Aidan, Alim, DJ Reader, hell, even James Houston on some snaps, and we'll see, those guys will probably be rotating. But when James Houston's not there and Davenport's in, when those guys are firing on all cylinders, and Aidan Hutchinson is as impressive as he was last season in terms of getting after the quarterback, in terms of pressuring the quarterback, Alim McNeill improving as a pass rusher, DJ Reader, absorbing a double team. Davenport's job is simply going to be clean up plays. He's not going to have he's not going to be facing double teams because Aidan Hutchinson, DJ Reader, maybe even Lee McNeil sometimes. Those guys will be facing double teams. So Davenport's in a very favorable position to succeed. And that's not to mention who they have in-house as a coach, Terrell Williams, who is widely regarded as one of the best defensive line coaches in the NFL. So Davenport has all the tools to succeed. He has all of them. The only thing I question is, can he stay healthy? And I think the Lions have done a good job improving at least their training staff, guys in the building that just are supposed to keep the players healthy. Frank Ragnow has praised who they have in the building, at least keeping those guys, their bodies. And you see in check. And Broderick Martin, look at his transformation. Lee McNeil, look at his transformation. I think the Detroit Lions training staff is very impressive. And I think they're going to, you can't save Davenport if he gets hurt, but you can try to prevent it as much as possible. But what do you guys think in terms of the impact Davenport will have this season? I can see anywhere from 6 to 8 sacks from Davenport. Anything more than that would be impressive. What number do you guys have Davenport at in terms of sacks? What's an ideal number for you guys? Comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe because we're about to hit 7,500. Thanks to you guys supporting the channel. You can check out our live show every single weekday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. and comment down below. Even if you disagree, I'd love to respond to the comments and get into conversations with you guys. Until next time, I'll catch you guys.